Hey guys, Hook to Clash here, and today we're going to be going over some of the triples from my best day in Legends ever. Like, ever. It doesn't matter if I'm in low Legends or high Legends. And this time I did it, as you can see, we started the day around 5570. I can't remember the exact number, but we did in the 5500s. We were just outside the top 1000 going into this day, and my god, we had an awesome day. So this was the first attack down the bottom here on the world top career. Then we got a 30. And at that stage, I'm like, oh, I'm having a pretty good day. Then we went triple, 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 triple. That next attack is on the next day. So you can see our streak didn't last too long. The best part about this as well is I did all these Legends hits like on my birthday. Like it was just the stars aligned, right? It just worked out perfectly. And we're just going to go through all the triples today. And in case your math is a little bit off, this obviously added up to 310. Let me know in the chat what your highest day in Legends is. Obviously, there's only 3 scores you could get higher than that, which is 311, 312, or 320, the perfect day. Have you got a perfect day before? If so, let me know, because I've never got a perfect day before. Even in like low Legends where the bases are a bit easier, I've never gotten I've never gotten 320. In fact, I think this was the first time I've ever gotten over 300, and to do it in like high Legends, and it essentially put me just outside the top 500 in the world by the end of the day. This was kind of special to me, and I was actually really impressed with myself. Now, we had a lot of luck go our way today with all these hits, but regardless, we were pretty happy with it. Anyways, we were hitting this base here, and I think I've showed this on the channel a few times, how you triple this. It's doing this exact strategy. You just do a queen walk, you start your king and your siege barracks early. I think I actually started my king and my siege barracks a little too early here, because look, they don't get much value. Often you kind of want the king and the siege barracks to be going in unison. As you can see, we have the rage for the hybrid there. That's the really crucial part of this. You want to be able to have a rage for the hybrid so they can burn through the core of the base, because look how much, defensive firepower is in there. Then it's just about getting your heals right and keeping your queen alive. That's the biggest part of this. I actually get lucky that Eagle shoots my healers but only hits one of them. If it hit multiple of them, I'm pretty sure this raid would be over here. Also helps that the miners get down this multi, because this actually ends up getting kind of close. As you can see, my hybrid dies out. But because all the high value defenses are in the core, as long as your hybrid guts the core and you can keep your queen alive with her ability intact, you can kind of just overwhelm the rest of the base. Now, unfortunately, this air defense is somehow in range of my loon on the cannon. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but we're just hanging on to these 2 loons. I'm going to try and use one to tank the archer tower on the right side to help my queen out, and then the last one to take out the cannon at the top. And it works out really nicely here, so it's not a complete overkill whatsoever. But that's the close. Running this plan on the base, I've never failed, and this is the closest one I've had. So given how popular a base that is, if you're running hybrid against it, that is definitely how I'd do it. Now we have the 92% next, and then we'll move on to the next one here. And this is another common style that you see. However, in like mid to lower Legends, you'll often see 3 singles on this base, and it's really annoying to charge when it's got 3 singles on, honestly. I know you see a lot more multis in higher Legends, and that's to stop the Lalos and the Witches and the like. But I still think this base is stronger with full singles. Anyways, we use a loon and an archer, because a loon, as long as the loon gets a drop off and the archer gets 1 shot off, that is how you take out a mortar for free. So fun little tip. We actually get really unlucky at the start of this though. Watch what my queen does here. Thankfully the enemy queen goes for the balloon and my Yeti dies, but unfortunately the healers tried to go heal the Yeti. They are so the healers are so dumb at the start. It is quite frustrating. Anyways, I have to use a rage balloon, but I think I lost 2 healers, was it there, to the air defense, only because they run after the Yeti immediately, despite the fact that my queen is dealing with literally the enemy queen, one of the highest DPS things on the base. Regardless, my queen does well here to not have to pop ability yet, but I do have to pop her ability there. That was kind of unfortunate. It barely popped ability. It would have been like 10, 15 HP in it. Anyways, but I'm going to get quite lucky on this, and so all the bad luck will be made up for here. I start the hybrid on the bottom side. I could have started it on the top, but honestly, I wanted to get all of this damage on the bottom of the base off my queen, because my queen was hanging down, and I don't know, it just felt right to come from the bottom. I really like the pathing of it. So early heal there, and look at my queen, by the way. She basically never got in range of that single, and that's very fortunate, and we're going to see why here, because I've still got another rage. Even though I've popped her ability, I've still got another rage, and because I'm watching my queen, because, yeah, I had to watch my queen, because I'm like, holy moly, she can get another Inferno and this back-end scatter shot, and with that, this base is, at this point, it's got next to nothing left to defend it. My queen also gets the Wizard Tower here. She's just getting value galore. It shows that, you know, it's always worth investing the spells in the Queen Charge, because on a lot of these Legends bases, they have very concentrated DPS, but as soon as you can bust through that concentrated DPS, there's not a lot of damage often in the core of these bases. The expos will be generally on one side or another, and as you can see, there's the first freeze. One of the benefits of running into multis, is that you don't need the freezes as much for the Queen Charge. We popped the RC there, but we absolutely didn't need her. This base is absolutely crushed. Like I said, we got a little lucky with the Queen not running into the single. And saying that, we had 2 freezes for it anyway, so I'm sure it would have worked out. We'll move on to the next attack here. And this is one of the typical box spaces that I have talked to you all about, and how there's really only 2 ways I would personally take it out with hybrid, and it does not involve charging the Town Hall, even though, as you can see on this one, it's quite what's the word? Appetite. It's quite tempting. There's the word. It's quite tempting to Queen Charge the Town Hall here, because there's no single nearby, and the Town Hall's kind of for free. Now, as I'll quickly zoom out for a second. As I've shown you before, I won't go into too much detail. The 2 ways to take out these sort of box spaces is that a Queen Charge like this, and then use like your king to take out the enemy king, and siege barracks to do all that, and hybrid in here really early so that you can wall break here. Or it's to do this one where you kind of go one way or the other. It doesn't really matter which goes, but then you go in here and you try and kind of go into this compartment, hybrid like through here-ish, and then use king and siege barracks like that. Now the reason I did it from over here on this base is A, the sweepers are very far forward and they're covering obviously the Queen Charge, but B, because my king and the siege barracks will get the Town Hall, it doesn't really matter if my hybrid like cuts through the core, right? Whereas if the Town Hall was like here-ish, where the mortar is, if my hybrid cut away from the Town Hall, my king and queen obviously can't get it. That would be a major concern. So I'm like, why not? Besides, it's fun starting a Queen Charge from the opposite side of the Town Hall, and unless you're doing like the TDH, you often can't get away with it, because, you know, hybrid is so much better going straight into the Town Hall. Now, this got way too close on my queen ability here. But, you know, I was watching it closely, so I wasn't, like, too worried. But it was also, like, I probably shouldn't have let it get that close in the first place. As you can see, use the Yeti and the Wizards just to funnel nicely there. It is a big investment on the funnel, but you can never not invest enough to ensure your queen goes in the base. As you can see here, the queen actually went up. I thought she went down from memory, but she did go up. She is going to go in here. Now, I'm sending a hog here because I want to lure this CC, but unfortunately the tornado pops, but we still get the whole CC out. Because as you can see, this single is out of range. I'm trying to select the single. The single is just out of range, and I'd much rather deal with any CC, even if it's the super minion CC, much rather deal with it outside of the defensive CC, out of the single range. As you can see, that freeze was way too close there, but it worked out in the end. And we've actually wall broke into the scatter here, and I was pretty sure my queen was going to go in because she couldn't reach the sweeper from here. And she actually agrees to go in for the wall break there. And at this stage, I'm like, sweet, she's going to get all of that. If I can get my king to go right, and he does, thankfully, we reinforce him with the siege barracks. And the basic goal of them is to take out the Town Hall. And I'm just going to hybrid in front of my queen. It means I'm not going to get a whole lot of value left with the queen, but where else am I going to hybrid from on this base of it? Obviously, there's not a lot of options in that. Hybrid's coming in nicely, and luckily I've still got another rage here. Now my queen does get targeted by the single, and I just pop her ability. I probably should have popped the Warden, but I wanted to see how long I could hang on to my Warden, honestly. RC stays up nicely there, and I'm still hanging on to my Warden here. This is one of the huge benefits of having the King and P.E.K.K.A take out the Town Hall, is that you can delay your Warden a heap. I tried to use my Warden to include the RC, but unfortunately that didn't work out. But it does get us through the bomb tower, which is obviously really nice. My Queen is still going quite strong. We've got 20 million miners up. I still don't think I've lost a single one. I've got King and a bunch of Siege Barrack Wizards as well. Like, this is absolutely crushed. So yeah, that's the other way that we can take out the box space with quite a good hit rate on it, honestly. Now I'm going to have to remember, I believe I showed that one. So we should be up to this one here. Yep, this is a new base here. Now, this base, I got a little lucky with this triple, I'm not going to lie. This was an annoying base. I really couldn't figure out a plan for it. Obviously, we weren't going to queen charge the bottom side because hybrid generally, especially with the diamond, well, with a base like this, your 3 choices to charge is here, here, or to try and get the queen to go straight in for the town hall. But obviously with the 2 layers of wall there, that was going to be difficult. So we're always going to go into one of these singles. And I believe I picked this one because the sweeper's actually further away on this side than it is the other. Plus, I was more happy to have the queen on this flank because I had decided already, looking at this charge, that if I was going to come in this side, I'm actually going to funnel in the queen with my king. It's one of the reasons I like the Siege Barracks hybrid more so than the Yeti Bomb, so that you have options on whether to use your king to funnel the hybrid or with the Siege Barracks P.E.K.K.A, or to funnel your queen. And because this was such a nasty funnel for my queen here, obviously because there's an enemy queen, bomb tower, mortar and all that, I just said I'm going to put a wizard, headhunter and king down, just pop my king early, and look at this. He's going to deal with 2 heroes here. Like, that's heaps of value there. Obviously, heroes are one of the few things that can actually take a hybrid out. So, he didn't create the best funnel in the world, but he did enough of a funnel, and he took out 2 enemy heroes, plus he actually tanked one of the headhunters from the CC. So, I think that was value galore. Now, the one downside of it is obviously that the Eagle will activate a lot earlier, but that's fine, honestly. As long as you're not under too much damage, you can get through it fine. And because all the expos are on the bottom here, my queen's kind of chilling at this point. Anyways, we don't really need to funnel up the top side. There'd be no point putting the Siege Barracks at 12 because the funnel's already really tight there. So we use the Siege Barracks closer to like 10:30 because I kind of want it to take out that bomb tower and force everything back into the town hall. Also, just because of bomb tower is heaps of value for a hybrid. It's you hate running over bomb towers. They are so effective. They basically force a heal. Now, unfortunately, we had to pop our queen ability there, but look at that. She's taken out both scatters in the core of the base. Like, that is just a value galore. And at this stage, I'm just waiting for one lone miner to trip the town hall, and it does finally happen, thankfully. My queen gets the eagle as well. She will die shortly after, unfortunately, but I mean, she got everything I could have asked for her. She didn't get the town hall, but that was basically impossible. She got, what, both scatters, CC, and, you know, the eagle, plus an inferno or 2. I was pretty happy with that value there. And I've still got my RC. One healer sitting on her helping out. And once the enemy RC goes down, it's all basically over at that point. It was actually a little close on time if I remember correctly, but this RC does a fantastic job at cleaning up the back-end defenses here, and this was a nice triple. The P.E.K.K.A stayed up as well, which is unusual when you just use the Siege Barracks to funnel, but hey, I'm not complaining. Sorry. Now, here was the next one. We actually did this hit live on stream, and this was a tough base to figure out what to do, because I'd actually cast this base in 2 elite 5v5 wars. I believe INTZ were running this base, and it held really well, and I knew I'd watched 2 Queen Charge Lalos fail on this, where they invested so many spells in the Queen Charge, and she still got nothing. So I kind of knew what not to do, but there was also not many options to charge on this base. So I tried kind of an idea of my own, and And it ended up actually kind of working out like the Queen Charge Lalo, except obviously I tripled where the Queen Charge Lalo didn't. So I was pretty excited by this hit here. So we used the Yeti and the Wizard to funnel. I'm very patient on my Queen drop here because I definitely want her to go to the right, because as we can see, I used a Gaku Wall Breaker. Essentially, Gaku Wall Breaker is just a super wall breaker that you want to explode on like an open wall to force your queen in there, because obviously otherwise you can't wall break a lot of these open walls. And because it kind of opened the walls to the right, I had to have my queen go right. Obviously, if she went left, she would not go into the single. So we get the first wall break in here, and then we get the second one, which was really nice there. And because my queen's kind of going this way, I just decide I'm going to put my king and my siege barracks down super early. Also, how clutch was that freeze? The fact that I didn't pop the queen ability there was nice. Anyways, I have the P.E.K.K.A funnel at the top. My king actually goes in, which is normally pretty annoying, but I didn't mind it too much on this base. The hybrid's doing an amazing job at forcing my queen in here, and she's in a money-making spot right now. We love her in this sort of position. Now, the hybrid kind of gets stuck on the enemy king, but that's okay. Unfortunately, I believe... No, I'm hanging on to my RC at this point, and the reason I'm doing that is obviously if my hybrid doesn't get the Town Hall, I need my RC to do that. But at this point, I know my hybrid's going to get the Town Hall, and look at this Warden ability. And I actually send my RC up the top with the Hogs, because I figure, well, I don't really need anything else for the core. We're kind of killing the core at the moment. I just wanted to deal with the top of the base, especially because the Hogs had just come out of the Siege Barracks, and I figured they could clear the single. Unfortunately, I was quite wrong, but look at this. There are so many miners up. There clearly wasn't a lot of springs in like the core of this base. They were clearly at 12 o'clock. But that was fine. And we get a really nice spread on the miners here. We held on to a loon, and this loon gets the bomb tower here, which is obviously immensely valuable. We still haven't used our queen ability as well. Like that's the crazy thing here. By that perfect freeze when we were dealing with the enemy queen has saved me so much here. Now we've only got the 2 healers left, and I think it's about to be 1, honestly, but like look at how much of the base is left. Now we don't have too many miners up, and the single is about to just eradicate, or it's just going to eliminate my king. Doesn't matter too much at this point because we've just got enough miners left. We've got the Warden who's going to do his best, and we kind of swag the queen ability there. So like this sort of hit is like the sort of one where some days if it's just not your day, you might even 1-star that, but it was absolutely my day. So would I recommend that hit as the perfect way to take out that base? Probably not. I think there's better ways that you could figure it out, but that one absolutely worked there. Now we ran into this base as well, and I recognized this base from a War Edge stream too. So at this point I was like, well, it's just going to be one of those days, isn't it? Like, where I'm just going to keep tripling bases that I'd find in war, but if you put me in a 5v5 war, I wouldn't triple this base sort of thing. Anyways, I looked at this for a bit, and I didn't mind it too much. I had a few options for queen charges. I could have come in at the top of the base. I thought about doing that. But then I was like, nah, I'm going to try and queen charge the entirety of this base. So I start my queen at the bottom, and basically the goal is to get her into this opening here, which honestly isn't too hard to do, right? Because of this archer tower and this elixir collector. The only way the queen can shoot them is from this tile and from this tile, and they are both inside the wall. So I use a wizard on the right hand side to funnel the army camp, so only using 4 troop space to get a funnel is a really good value. And then I use the Yeti on the right side. I kind of wanted the Yeti to get the air defense, but my queen goes in anyway, despite not really having that good a funnel. It's just there was some... the open wall wasn't perfect. Honestly, you don't want to set it up so that the only way the queen can reach it is from just inside the wall. Now, my queen's taking a lot of damage here, and I didn't actually like that super wall breaker at the time. I was not a big fan of it at all, so we're going to have to use a freeze on the single. And I was on stream at the moment, and I said to stream chat, I'm panicking at the moment. The queen got targeted by the single, and the freeze for the single was late. The king and P.E.K.K.A both went in, which is normally bad news. Now, the one advantage of this is look at this Warden ability. We literally get... I think we missed 1 hog in there. We obviously missed the Siege Barracks hogs, but we missed 1 hog. You will notice here as well, yet again, we don't deal with the CC with the queen charge. And when it's this triple super minion CC... that's fine, because the poison takes them out. Obviously, I'm healing, and I believe the super minions just do single point defense. Basically, the super minions do so much more to a queen than they do to a hybrid. So given most of the CCs and Legends have this, I'm honestly fine with not dealing with the CC on my Queen charge. And we freeze the back end scatter there, but look how wrecked this is. I've got my RC ability, I've got my Queen ability, I've got a lot of hybrid up. It's just interesting, isn't it, to see this base get absolutely crushed where I don't deal with the CC with my Queen. So is this like a new thing in Legends? Is it best, given that about 80 to 90% of the CCs are super minions, is it best to deal with the CC with your hybrid? Maybe, because I had a lot of success with it on this day. Now I believe there is one more attack here. Yep, this is the last one here. And I was pretty nervous because I knew if I tripled this, I would be having my best day ever. And if I didn't, I was still most likely going to have my best day ever. But I wasn't necessarily going to hit that 300 mark. That coveted 300 that you so rarely get. Now looking at this base, I hated this base. Normally in the past when I've charged this, I've kind of come down the bottom here because my Queen can reach that and that, so she should not really go left. And walked up, and then I don't know if I wall break this wall or this wall. I think I wall break the second one here and kind of get my Queen to get all of that and hybrid through here. But one of the downsides of this is A, if the Queen doesn't get this air defense, then you're in trouble. So you have to funnel like these buildings out a lot. And B, you'll find yourself dealing with the CC under single potentially. Obviously, I can't see the CC range, but yeah, I'd probably deal with maybe not. It would be close. But I was kind of just feeling it, and I literally said to stream chat, "Oh well, we'll just YOLO this. We'll chuck our Queen at 3 o'clock and see what happens. I'm just feeling like having a good day." Now, at the time, I thought this was like the perfect open wall setup where he has walls here and here. But looking back on replay, my goal was to send my Queen through here, and it actually ended up being quite easy. Because there is so many open walls on the corner there, the Queen just goes straight in nicely. So we get the early rage down here, and look, we get the Headhunter down. Now, unfortunately, I wanted the Headhunter to go for the enemy Queen, but this ends up being fine anyway. And look how quickly the heroes go down. Now, we did invest a rage, but a rage and one Headhunter, which is 6 troop space, to take out 2 enemy heroes like that is so much value in my opinion. So we wall break the scatter shot there, but the Queen went in anyway. At this point, I was like, wait, what? I was not expecting this whatsoever. Unfortunately, there's so many skellies, so my Queen has to deal with it all. We pop a freeze because my Queen is slowly losing health through all of this. But look at this next wall breaker here. This is actually going to... No, I don't. No, I do wall break here, but the Queen doesn't go in. But this is why you bring 3 super wall breakers, because as soon as my Queen doesn't go in here, I know if I wall break on this single here, and this is what I'm about to do, if I wall break in here, she will go in. We use the Yeti on the top. We have to freeze the single there, which was a nice freeze. And the Yeti's just going to make sure that the Queen goes for the single here. And as you can see, the Queen obliges. We don't need to pop another freeze there. Obviously, we had no more freezes. But unfortunately, if this is a super minion CC, then we're probably going to have to pop the Queen here. So let's see what it is. Ooh, it's a Hound. Just my lucky day. Unfortunately, we do have to pop the Queen there anyway, because the Eagle hit like an absolute hammer. But the Hound just kind of flies away. So my Queen just gets through that nicely, and she's actually going to continue on for a little bit. As you can see, though, we're going to hybrid the back end of this, and we'll speed this up ×2. The healers switch, which is unfortunate, but not a lot you can do about it. The King's just sitting in the core of the base, just doing King things. But yeah, the hybrids pushing through the core of the base. My Queen has gone down. But this was actually getting quite close on time, so I was a little worried about this. It was very tense. 310 on the line if I triple. Cry faces on the line if I don't. I lose the RC here, and that was like looking bad, but we still had the heal here, but I really had no time to use it. We have so many miners, so many hogs, and we get it with about 2 seconds left. Never in doubt, am I right? So yeah, that was how I got 310. I wish I could show it for you on the video here, but unfortunately it's a new day, and that was yesterday. But yeah, you can probably see it in the thumbnail that we were able to get 310 in Legends, so I'm kind of proud of that. Anyways, yet again, let me know if you've got 320 in chat, because you're clearly better at the game than I am. But yeah, I'm enjoying the push. Hopefully I can do a few more videos for you all, because I'm actually sitting just outside the top 200 now. I've had a few good days in a row, so hopefully it can continue on. In saying that, we're getting wrecked on defense today, so that's probably not going to happen. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you soon.